Hi, today I want to talk about how to shift from overthinking to inner peace just by slowing down your breath. So, if you're like me, or at least how I used to be in the past, I used to be a chronic overthinker. I would think a lot about the things that I feel that I should be doing, think about conversations that I might have had. I think conversations were probably more of the overthink for me and how I was coming across in those conversations. And overthinking was constantly shifting me out of a present moment state and taking me to a part of my thought process that basically brought in a lot of negative emotions. So what I want to do today is just talk to you about how, when you're getting into that overthinking mode, that you always have the ability within you to shift out of that mind state. And that's just by slowing down your breath. So imagine this. The types of overthinking that you might be replaying past conversations. Did you say the right thing? What if you was being misunderstood by someone? It could be second guessing decisions. Should you have chosen another option? Or what if you make a mistake? You could be overthinking about worrying about the future, which is a big thing. So things that have not actually happened to you as yet, you get into that worry state because you have that fear of the unknown. And that fear might be, what if you might fail? What if things don't go as planned? There's also always that struggling with perfectionism. I know that that's also something that I have suffered from throughout the years, with me being, I'm a Sagittarius, which is my sun sign, but my moon sign is actually Virgo. So with my moon sign being Virgo, we have that perfectionism thing going on with us. And so I know exactly what it's like to get into that perfectionism mode where you are going over and over things that you should be maybe putting out. It could be, for me, obviously being a designer, it could be a particular design, making sure that design is perfect. Now, of course, the design has to be perfect, but then just overthinking it. Overthinking, let's say, for instance, you are, building a website or something like that, for your own self, and you keep going back to that because you're wanting to change the words. So really wanting to be a perfectionist based around that, and having that kind of energy sitting on you that what it is that you're actually putting out is just not good enough. You might also be overwhelmed by choices, and have that kind of fear within you for picking the wrong one. So when that type of thought manifestation goes on in your mind and it really starts to plague you and kind of get you down, that's when you can use the power of slow breathing to really step out of the moment and bring yourself back into the present moment, into the now, and not be kind of stuck in those thoughts. So what you could do is then, just as I said, start to really slow your breath down. As soon as those types of thoughts come in, as I said, you could be there could be something that you are in the process of doing at that time. It may be, you could be buying a house, let's say, and the first worry that comes into your mind when you're buying a house is that, am I going to be able to afford the repayments? So there's that kind of worrying about the future. Now, as soon as those types of thoughts come into your mind, the first thing to do is to always go, right, okay, I'm going to take a bit of stock now, and I'm going to slow my breath down, because when I slow my breath down, I know that I can actually connect to my inner intuition and know that whatever decision I make in this particular time, right here, right now, is going to be the right decision for me, and to really trust in that, really, put my surrender into the universe, and really sort of trust that what it is that I'm being shown is for the greater good and for me to get the best out of my world. So as soon as you get into that mode, you can then just either close your eyes, or you can, have your eyes open. But closing your eyes is probably really good, because then that sort of blocks out all of the outside stimulation that's going on around you. Then you can really start to focus on what's going on within. So that's when you can then just slow your breath down to the slowest of breaths possible. And imagining as you are breathing in, that you're breathing in a kind of air that has a lot of strength within it. So you can just imagine a color. You can, think of, let's say, blue. Blue is a really strong color. It's a very grounding color. And so if you can maybe think of the color blue as you're breathing in, and that strength that you're breathing in is what you're actually getting from the universe, which is going to allow you to connect to your intuition, which will mean that whatever decision you come up with in that particular time, in that moment, is going to be the right decision for you. So let's just get ourselves into that sort of state right now. And so I just want you to close your eyes, and always remembering that you must be breathing in through your nose, out of your nose, and always breathing into your diaphragm. And as you're taking that breath in, you're making sure that your stomach or your diaphragm is actually expanding as you breathe in and depressing as you breathe out. So let's just now, as I said, concentrate on that blue color. Now we can imagine that blue is coming from the sky. Whenever we look up at the sky is always, really beautiful. It's calming, particularly if it's blue and the sunshine is there, and it always makes you feel safe. So if we can think about now the blue that's actually coming from the sky, that as you're breathing in, there's like a sort of light, a blue light that's coming in from the sky, and it's coming in through your nose as it's tracing itself through your body, going through your lungs, going through your diaphragm, and then coming straight back up again. So let's just imagine that. And we'll do a count in. I'll just count you in 3 seconds, and then we'll take that deep breath into our belly. So in 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So I want you to just carry on with that slow breath as it's coming in. And as mentioned, you're imagining that you've got this beautiful light blue light that's coming from the sky, that's coming in as you breathe in. And as you're breathing that in, you've got that beautiful cold air and light, that blue light coming through into your nose. And as it's tracing itself down through your body, through your lungs, into your diaphragm, and breathing that back up again. Or exhaling that breath as it comes back out, and it's coming back up again to the sky, and you're breathing that back in again. The slowest breath that you can do. And you're breathing that back out. And if you can also imagine, as well as you're taking that breath in, that every breath that you take in is coming into your heart. And then you can watch it as it moves down past your lungs and into your diaphragm and straight back out again. Just continuing with that breath, that nice slow breath in. And breathe out. And now what we're going to do with this breath, as we breathe in, we're going to imagine now that that breath is actually going down into our feet. So you're taking it down as low as you can, down to your toes. And then as you exhale, that breath's coming up again through your body. So that blue light is coming up through your body. And back out again through your nose. So we're coming back in again. Down to your feet. And breathe out. Making sure that breath is coming again back up your body and back out of your nose. So that type of breath sequence you can do when you're in the moment, and there, as I said, if there's, if you're thinking about something about the future that is related to the certain situation that you're in at the time, if you can kind of just get yourself into that breath sequence or that breathing mode where you're calling in that blue light that's coming into your body, you can imagine that that blue light is your light of intuition, let's say. And so as you're breathing in and as you're filling your lungs with that blue light and taking that light down your body, down your legs, down to your feet, and then back up again on the exhale, that whatever it is that you need to know in that very moment, regardless of, it's not about overthinking, because you're going to be in that slow breath mode, which means you're going to automatically be taken out of your thought mind. And as soon as that happens, you then have to trust that whatever is coming into you at that time is pure intuition. And then you'll be able to make the decision that you need to make in that particular moment and not actually get into that overthinking mode where, obviously decisions are not being made. And look, that's the same as well when we're thinking about, second guessing decisions when they come in, and knowing that, you're thinking that you should be choosing one option over the other. What if you make a mistake? Always know as well that at the end of the day, the only thing that really counts is what's happening right here in this very moment, in this now, in this present moment. And you're wanting to connect to pure presence, okay? You're not wanting to think about what is actually going to be happening, the decisions, should you have made, what if you make a mistake, etc., etc., etc. Because and this sort of brings me to conversations that I've had with people that have said to me, I really wish that, let's say 5 years ago, I took this route instead of taking that route, because if I did, I would be way better off. And I kind of say to them, well, okay, I understand you thinking in that way and having, and believing that whatever decision that you made at that time might have been the wrong decision. Have you thought that whatever decision that you thought that you should have made might have still taken you to this same conclusion? And when you kind of think about it from that perspective, you then start to believe and know that whatever decision you took at that time was the right decision. It really doesn't matter, because you would have had challenges that would have come up in your life that you would have had to deal with. And so, but they might have been different challenges, but you might still have come to the same conclusion as you are now. So we never ever know that whatever happened in the past or whatever decisions we might have made back then, we will never know that we didn't make the right decision back then. And then also think about that time frame between the decision that you thought that might have been the wrong decision in hindsight, that you thought might have been the wrong decision in hindsight, to where you are now. And actually think about the time space in between there, and think about all of the good that happened in that time. Think about the connections that you made with people. Think about the experiences that you had in your life over that space of time. Yes, of course, there would have been challenges, but the challenges are always there for our growth. So, never think that you should have done something else. Always trust that whatever it is that you did at that time was the right thing. So bringing you back to overthinking, again, a great way to come out of overthinking and again, bringing in that kind of sort of negative stance on things, or bringing up the fear and things like that, is get yourself back into into the present moment. Bring yourself back into awareness. Actually watch those thoughts by stepping out, by breathing slowly, and then by going, okay, I think now, whilst I'm here, what it is that is really sort of clicking away in my head really isn't how I believe it to be. And think about that blue light, because that blue light's a nice, beautiful, strong blue light that you'll be able to kind of carry through with you throughout your day, that will allow for nurturing it in other parts and other sort of conversations and situations that might come up. So always think about how you breathe. Your breath is not just there for you to keep you alive. It's actually there to be able to regulate your emotions. It's there to give you balance. It's there to keep you in the present moment. And it's also there to nourish you and give you love. Like, breath in Sanskrit actually means spirit. And so you're constantly breathing that spirit into your body, into your being, which is caring for you. And just be slow with it. You don't have to be fast with what's going on around you. And whilst I'm on that, I do have a 7-minute download that you can get just when you're wanting to bring yourself into the present moment really, really quickly. If you are overthinking about things and you're like, look, I really just want to get away from my thought mind, I've got a 7-minute download, which is in the post information. If you click into that, you'll be able to get a 7-minute download where there'll be breathing techniques in there, some really beautiful ambient music, and of course my voice. And that will just, be able to calm you down and harness you into the space within that you need to be in. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.